AI is not going to make you profitable. If it would be that easy, then everybody would become a day trader. Now, the reason for that is because trading is a decision-making skill. There's a lot more going on before you're going to take a trade than just looking at the charts and having a couple of statistics. In this video, I'm going to explain to you that AI is not going to make anybody rich anytime soon. But that doesn't mean that AI is just completely useless. Later on, I'll actually show you tools that you can use to maximize profits or just in general make it easier for your trading journey. Now, you might have already heard about the AI bubble, and it's an actual thing. Why does the AI trading hype begin to exist? Now, first of all, AI is just popping off everywhere. Every single company, every single marketing is always around AI. AI is great, but it's not great enough to make you profitable. So most of the guys who are trying to become rich in trading using AI think that it's just going to avoid making any type of decisions that they have to do on their own. Because AI is a robot, how is he going to do the mistakes? Or basically just avoid the complete responsibility of being a trader. Because as a trader, you're not just looking at candlesticks the entire day. When you're a full-time day trader, you are your own risk exposure department for that sense, your own analyst, and most importantly, you are doing all of the executions. Nobody's going to trade for you. Now, the thing is that we already had this kind of thing in the trading space. This is not the first time that we had something new going around in trading that seemed off as some kind of new invention, some kind of revolution in the trading space, but actually is just the next step to build a new foundation, which I'll also touch on later on. Now, the era where that has already happened is basically indicators. When the MACD just came out, people who were using it were extremely profitable because at that time, nobody had the MACD, but also the markets were moving way differently around that time. The markets are not the same as they used to be 10 or 20 years ago because there's just simply inefficiencies in the markets. And if you're just going to invent a MACD that nobody has ever used before, because everybody before that was basically just using pure price action, then you simply found an inefficiency in the game and that is going to put you ahead of it. But the interesting part is that as soon as everybody got hands on their MACDs, then it wasn't profitable anymore. So here's the interesting part. Before AI was actually popping off and basically accessible to basically everybody around the world, you may or may not were able to make money with it. Now, and here's the next thing. AI is not something new. AI has been around for 20 years or so. It's just that now it has been available to the public. But also the next thing is just marketing. AI is simply a buzzword, which is the exact same reason why I'm making this video, because I know that it gets a lot of people's attention. Now, the difference between me trying to promote you some kind of AI garbage that doesn't even work to begin with, I'm actually here to educate you and tell you what actually works and what doesn't. Now look, price action is always going to win. Even in the ages where indicators were just popping off, so basically the same era that we have right now, but just in a different sense. Even at that time, you couldn't be a profitable trader without also knowing price action. Because trading or the markets as a whole are not just patterns that you're looking out for. Because if it would really be just patterns and a couple of different candlesticks which have to appear in a row, it would mean that you can bot an entire strategy. This is where discretion comes into the play. Discretion is the ability to decide whether you're going to take a trade or not based off experience, and it cannot be taught by AI. Because AI is once again looking at patterns and past history, but you are looking for experience, and that experience can really not be replicated by AI or any kind of bot. So let's just say I'm going to give you some kind of random bot, right? And it was profitable from the year 2022 all the way to 2025. Now you might be saying, well, it was profitable from 2022 all the way to 2025. So are you really going to tell me that this bot is not profitable? Yes, exactly. Because even if the bot was looking something like this, right, and you're just seeing massive gains, that bot was optimized between the year 2022 and 2025. So the price action can look way more different going into 2026, right? Now you have already heard this. Past results do not guarantee future results. And that is the case to some extent, but it always depends. So here's an example for you. So let's simulate that we're going to trade the Wednesday 1st, September 2021. So let's just say that I want to take a short right in here. Take profit can be anywhere. Let's just say these lows and stop loss to these highs. And then let's just say it's going to be a loss. And this happened once again on the 1st September 2021. So now what a bot would do, he would take that exact date. That is just as an example. Okay, so next year on the same date, if the same price action occurs, we're going to take a long instead of a short. But that doesn't really make sense, doesn't it? Because 1 year from now, the price action can be completely different. But you as the human being who learned how to trade and knows price action well, you understand that last year I lost on this day, but this doesn't have to do anything with the current price action. Matter of fact, you wouldn't even think of that because you can't remember all of the trading days that you have lost beforehand. Even if you're going to journal it, you're not going to look at every single trading day that you have lost. Now, kind of ironic, right? I'm explaining to you that AI doesn't work in trading, yet I'm asking AI the simple question. But this is where we're going to get shortly. AI has to be used as an assistant and not as a full-time day trader. So let's do some research if hedge funds are actually just trading with fully automated AI systems. Now, hedge funds have been around for a very long period of time. Before AI has been publicly known and publicly available, they were already using it. Now he has basically just given you the answer. Once again, this is not because I'm the smartest man on earth. This is public information, guys. So yes, there are some hedge funds who are just trading with AI, but this has happened way before the AI boom. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that all of these rules that the bot has are also predefined by humans, and even in that case, humans will always have the last say before actually going to enter a trade, because even if an AI bot works, it is most likely only going to work in a predefined scenario where there are certain market conditions, and these can only be identified by human intervention, which is once again called discretion. Now, even though there is hedge funds who are just using AI a lot, as you can see on the screen right now, discretionary funds still dominate capital. So even if you have found an AI system which gives you small profits, learning it is going to be way more worth it because it's going to yield way more results. But whether you know the answer why the charts move or not, the fact is that companies, and especially hedge funds, have spent billions of dollars to identify where the market will go next. So how are you going to basically beat the market by asking ChatGPT create a strategy for me? Now guys, AI is not going to pass your prop firm challenge. However, I'm going to pass your prop firm challenge, and in the case where I fail, you'll not only get the money back that you have paid me, but you'll also get the money back that you have paid the prop firm. Everything is in the description down below as always. So after all this talk and understanding that AI is not going to make us magically profitable in the markets, how can we actually use it to still make our lives easier? Because as I said in the beginning, AI is not completely useless garbage. Now, one of the only journals that I've seen so far which are actually having integrated AI in their entire journal is TradeLens. So let's just pick out this period of time. So May and June, I had pretty decent gains. However, that doesn't mean that we can't improve it. Now, luckily, TradeLens has an integrated AI assistant. So once again, I'm using AI as an assistant and not just a bot that trades for me, manages my risk, manages all of my different funds and my trading decisions. And he's going to analyze your wins, your losses, your trading period, what day of the week was the best, what was the worst, and way more different stuff that as a human being, it would take a lot of time having to write all of this down and basically analyzing it on your own. Now, and it's not just things that you could have looked into the journal, because he's actually going to give you questions which you have to ask yourself. So when I'm going back into the entire journal, I know what questions I have to ask myself in order to make profits. Now guys, I've been using TradeLens for quite some time on my own. TradeLens is already great, but it's going to get even better. You will actually be able to backtest on it and not just journal trades. Everything is in the description down below. Now in this video, I've explained to you why AI is not going to cut it. You're not going to become a profitable trader by just asking ChatGPT simple questions. However, what you are currently trading is also not profitable. And if you don't believe me, I guarantee that this video is going to change your mind. If you want to trade with me side by side and get the same results that I do, then my mentorship is in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.